They're just not.
Selling, yeah.
Okay, you're on, you're live on both.
Rob, you wanna hit that?
Good.
No dragons? Now you gotta turn it on. Alright, we're on.
There you go, Mr. B.
Okay, I'd like to call this Finance and Legislation meeting to order. Mr. Bellick,
Here.
Mr. Bates, I'm here. Okay, we got two ordinances tonight we're gonna bring out. I'll read the first one. An ordinance adopting the collective bargaining agreement between the City of Struthers and the AFCME, AFL-CIO Local 759 of Council 8 as a result of the parties' negotiations hereafter, AFS-CME, and declaring emergency. Mary, would you like to?
Just, this is our 3-year contract.
3-year.
We feel like we have a very good, strong contract in place, both from the city standpoint as well as the union standpoint. We went through negotiations for a few weeks. They went fairly well. There is a letter, I believe it's somewhere in your packet, from Clemens Nelson regarding the changes that are in there. Some of them are very minute, they're just language changes to go along with what the state has changed, and then there's some other ones in there.
Who's that
But feel
contract
free,
with?
ask me.
No, but what department?
Wastewater.
Wastewater.
Wastewater,
Yeah.
stormwater, wastewater. But we feel very confident about this.
Okay, so basically it's like a renewal thing and then we're good about what we're doing
Yes, every 3 years.
every 3 years.
3-year contract.
Okay. I need a motion to bring this out.
Make a motion to bring it up.
I'll second it. Okay, the second ordinance is an ordinance granting a variance to Amy Petruniak, the owner of property is lot number 6642-112 Rocky Ledge Drive, Struthers, Ohio. The variance involves the rear yard. The encroachment is 6 foot into the 24-foot easement outlined in City Ordinance 1131.02B for the purpose of an addition. Mr. Benson? you'd like to
Yeah, she
elaborate on
approached
that?
us, she wants to put an addition onto the back of her house. So our ordinance states that in the residential area, you need a 24-foot rear yard. She wants to take up 6 feet of that and only have an 18-foot rear yard. After talking to all our zoning commissioner meetings, you'll see an attached letter from all her neighbors who consent to allowing her to do this. So we felt it was appropriate that we allow her to put the addition on.
Yep.
Well, she went through the right process. so-
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
I wish everybody would do it that way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way you're supposed to do it. If everybody's in agreement, there's no reason to not let her do it.
Petruniak's a good name, Struthers, too. Okay, I need a motion to bring it up.
Make a motion to bring it up.
I'll second. Okay, that's all the ordinances we have to bring out from the mayor and the safety service director. Want to elaborate anything on this letter from Mr. Zavoida to
Not really, it's just
Mr.
communication that we had that he wanted to make council aware of, just a communication from his office.
Okay, very good. Anything else from safety service director or the mayor that we need to bring up?
I have one, I know Bob has something too. I wanted to know if I know we talked one time about, I wanted to talk to you guys about the cat ordinance. If this is something we should talk with John about, if it's something you guys are interested in. I don't wanna go through all the steps and then we get here and no one really be in favor of it. So if you guys wanna see what something would look like, if you guys are okay with us exploring this with John and seeing how to try to keep the cat situation under wraps, if you guys are okay with that.
I am,
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, and then we talked quickly last week about vacating a little portion of the easement that we have for Mr. Mangine and that Castle property there. We cannot vacate that because there is a main sewer line there, so we will be probably bringing a variance. Will be a long I mean, this will, I don't know how long we can make a variance in place, but it will probably be something, they're not intending on putting any building over top of it, it would just be for a fence. And we talked with Guy and Frank about that. So just so you're aware, we talked about vacating, we're not vacating, but we will be bringing a variance for approval for that too. So if you would like Mr. Mangine to come to a meeting, he's more than welcome to. Or he's more than willing to come to talk to you all if you have any questions, but I think once we get through the first couple phases, once the NDA is no longer applicable, it might be better to have him come so he can describe more of what's going on, because him coming now with the NDA, he's not gonna be able to answer a lot of questions, so there won't be a lot of details to disclose.
He's a
So-
great person, I
Yes.
know, yeah,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. And then we were looking at, we have the City of Struthers land reutilization, which is the City of Struthers land bank. We've been working with YNDC, we've been working with John, we've been working with our code enforcement director even before, about really boosting up our land bank and using it how it should be. So we're gonna be working on language with Zamoyda to go over establishing that land bank so we can use it like the county uses theirs. So we can, when we have properties purchased, that money would go there, we can use that to purchase other properties in the city, vacant lots, not buildings, but we can use that pot for demolition, we can use it for abatement, so we have it separated. So any money that is being used to buy properties or buy things that the city owned or has foreclosed on from the land bank, that would go into a separate pot. So when we need a demolition, when we need an abatement, when we need to have these special situations, we can pull from that money to use for those special projects. But we have to have there's some language that we have to add for John, that's it. So nothing major, just
No.
house cleaning stuff to make sure we're doing everything the correct way.
Wow.
Did you have?
No, you covered it all pretty
Right.
good. No, that's
You
fine.
know how
That's
to-
good. But like you said, with the land bank language, it's basically language just to make it a fully functional land bank. Because right now, we just say we have a land bank, we own properties, but it's not a fully functional land bank.
And you're still talking to, on that property on South Bridge?
Yes,
Schultz?
that's still going on.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that should probably be completed within the next couple weeks.
good.
One other thing I did wanna mention, we had a meeting today with 5 people from all over Ohio, the Ohio Environmental Council and Clean Water. We met with them today for a few hours, and there's some legislation, they may want to come to a council meeting, introduce themselves, and talk about some things that they're trying to do statewide, for clean energy and for air pollution and just the environment overall. And they were very impressed, because I told them that you all allow me to speak at council meetings, and a lot of council meetings in the area, there's not a lot of things that get done, and a lot of things that need done take so much time because there's such a battle between administration and council that a lot of stuff just falls by the wayside or gets tabled or never gets done. And we were explaining to them that we don't have that problem here at council, that we are able to talk about things, even if we have disagreements, we have healthy arguments at the table. So they were really commending our city council and city administration for being able to get things done because of our communication here. So I just wanted to
Good.
give props to you guys that
Because
it does make a difference.
Yeah, I stopped down today and they said you was driving them around the city and
Yep.
showing them things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we took them all over, but it's, and if you've ever watched another council meeting from other cities or other villages, other towns, you'll see the difference. And you'll see why we're getting so much stuff done.
Should work hand in hand.
And praise work,
Yes.
she promotes that praise to almost everybody that visits here, how well this council works together.
Yes.
Because it is an amazing thing. We do quite
It's
well.
all about the city, not us.
yeah.
Well, you're right.
But to get people that want the same things on the same pages is very difficult, especially when you're working with other cities. And so it's comforting knowing that we can, when we have questions, when we have things, we can sit here, whether we agree or not, we still have the option of talking and voicing our opinions. And there's a lot of council meetings that you go to, a lot of times the mayor, the safety service director, they don't even go to the meetings because they're not permitted to speak. So we thank you for allowing the relationship with the open communication.
You're welcome.
Very good. These, now that you said we have another employee leaving, down there, is it affecting any kind of a performance down at the place down there with us being a lot of people short?
I won't say no, right now they're covering it, but they're covering it with overtime. So we do need to replace our employees as quickly as we can, because just like everybody, you get burned out on overtime after a while.
Oh, yeah.
But the guys down there are committed to the plant, and they're pitching in when they need to, they get it covered.
And obviously we're waiting for
We
him,
need to have, we
him
need
to
to
have the
have.
test to hire somebody down there.
Yes.
So we immediately have to get this done, so I mean, obviously, he has to get off his butt a little bit so we can get this done, so we don't have to be, I mean, it's gonna cost us probably more in the long run too with this overtime, correct?
Yeah.
Yes and no, because we're still down 4 employees,
Well, yeah,
so,
but these
but
guys,
we're paying it overtime.
but once these guys start working more and more, I
How
understand
long
they're
are we
making
giving
money.
him to respond?
John said he was gonna call me again today. So if we don't.
Is there a deadline? Yeah, I mean,
Then we're gonna,
move
try
forward.
to,
Okay.
and try to schedule something immediately. The problem is we have to wait, it has to be posted in the paper for 3 weeks. We have to schedule it, we have to set it. So that's why we need it now, because the alternate is waiting until March. We don't have until March. We could be in a situation where if we keep losing people, where the EPA will have to come in, and then we're in trouble.
Right.
Because we don't have people to run it.
No, that was the question I was gonna get.
But like I said, a big part of this and keeping the employees and trying to make sure we're on the same page is the new contract. So we do feel very comfortable with that.
Is the county recruiting these guys from us or what?
When you have good employees, everybody recruits them.
Well,
We've lost-
I don't
We've
think
lost
that's
3 to the
It's not
county
just
and
the
1 to
county.
private sector.
Yep, it's not just the county. There's the job itself all over is hurting for people. So they're trying to pull from everywhere.
So when we hire new people, should we put the clause in there where it is not allowed to work for competition
We
for so
can't.
many years?
We can't
I
because of
don't-
the union contract.
Yeah.
We even talked about, is there something we can put in if we pay for them to get their licensure? So if we pay for them to get their class 1 or their class 2, is there something where we can say, okay, but you
You'd have to stay with us a certain amount of years.
legally can't do it
Why?
Because the union,
because of the union.
Then we should negotiate that in the union next
I don't-
contract.
It's not something that is negotiable, is what we were told.
It happens all the time in
Yeah.
other departments. Why?
I can get an
I
answer
don't know
from
if it happens
Clemens.
too much in the public, you know what I'm saying? In the private sector, maybe, it happens, but not so much here.
They
When you go
said
in the
the-
private sector, they pretty much have their own rules, but
They said the most we could do is make them pay us for their test,
Yes.
which is a couple $100, and that's not gonna
that's not a deterrent.
deter anybody from going.
You know,
They feel, we feel we're good,
Yeah.
how this is. There are some changes we're hoping to make eventually with the healthcare, which will also help there, but that's gonna be over time. That's why we went with that self-pay method this year, because over time, that's gonna be something where we're hoping to give back to the employees after we build up. So we're working on every aspect that they're,
This situation normally doesn't occur. Normally you give a test, you hire one person off it, that test sits there for another year before you even think about giving another test. The fact that we hired 3 people off that one test, and then we've lost 4 people, that's very unusual. And I hope it doesn't continue, but
do we have anybody on board that wants to take this test?
yes. We had another person drop off an application today. We had somebody come in because we need an electrician. So if you know of any electricians looking for a job, we need somebody specific for maintenance. That we don't have to test for because it's a special,
and we lost our maintenance person, head maintenance person, to the private sector. And it's very hard for us to compete with that, you know, because maintenance, factory maintenance people who have electrical experience, they're hard to get.
So they did interview someone that came in that we were hoping to look at for electrical, and he went down to the plant and he said he would be a great utility person. So he's somebody we want to take the test. There's other people that we have resumes on that wouldn't fit the electrical background that we need for maintenance, but they would fit there. So yes, we have people that will sign up today to take the test. We just need to,
Get this going here.
yes.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for Safety Service Director or Mayor? Okay. Anything else from you guys? Everything's good? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. Motion. Meeting adjourned.
That's quick.
Okay.
6:16.
When we start negotiations tomorrow with our fire.